A viewer contacted me to tell me the story of how her mother fell victim to a romance scammer. She started by saying, "I just came across your YouTube video where James Raymond was trying to scam Denise on Facebook. I came across it because I was Googling James Raymond scammer due to the fact that he had just scammed my mother. My mother is 74 and had a lot of money in investments. My father passed away from COVID, so she's a widow. Ripe fodder for these idiots." When she told me she was chatting to a wonderful man on Facebook, I immediately knew it was a scam, as did our whole family. My mother refused to listen. She was completely convinced this man was the real deal. His story is almost exactly the same as what he was telling you. He was from Texas and was currently working as a surgical doctor in Somalia, helping wounded soldiers. LOL, said my viewer. After weeks of him lathering my mum up, she continued, he was going to get 2 months' leave to come and see her in South Africa. This is where my mother lost her mind completely. She paid for 3 flights in dollars and not South African rands and bail money, as he was apparently arrested in Doha for travelling on the plane with his weapon. And what happens next is the perfect example of something that I can never show in my videos, but something that I've often said, which is that the more money that you send a scammer, the more money they will ask for. He sent her all sorts of photos of legal-looking documentation. I repeatedly told her I can Photoshop the exact same documents. When he finally got to Cape Town, he told her he had been arrested again, this time for having raw diamonds on him. Ha ha ha, added my viewer. I am still flabbergasted that my mother fell for all this 007 nonsense, she said. All this time he was probably sitting in a room with a bunch of guys doing the same thing to other women. Oh, when I went into the profiles of people who have liked the few photos he has on Facebook, all of them were from Ghana. There are also no friends on his page. He told my mother that was because he is a very private person. My viewer sent me a link to his current Facebook profile, and to show what she meant, let's look at this photo, which has 18 likes or hearts. Look at the list of people who've liked it. I looked at some of the profiles of some of those people. I won't show you them here, because they may or may not be involved with this scam, but definitely most of them were from Ghana. She is broken-hearted, continued my viewer, and financially stuffed because of this guy. He got away with her nest egg. Through her own fault, yes, but I still feel terribly sorry for her. The police were trying not to laugh at her when she went to lay a charge yesterday. I wish there was a way to catch this guy. I'm having fantasies of a happy ending like in The Tinder Swindler. I realise her money is gone for good, and she will have to pick herself up and start from scratch. It's so sad that they do this to lonely and vulnerable women. Anyway, sorry for the long story. If sharing it can help someone else, it would be great. If it does get shared, please keep my name anonymous. This is the link to the Facebook account he's using, she said, and sent me the link. Photos of him attached, as well as the so-called documents he sent her, and one extremely photoshopped image of him when arrested in Cape Town. If this wasn't such a disaster for my mum, I would be crying from laughing. And I'll show you those images, and you'll see why my viewer was tempted to laugh, even in such a desperate situation. Here's the first of those forms, from when he was allegedly arrested for taking his firearm onto the plane. If you look closely at this screenshot, you can see that the scammer was using a photocopied blank form, probably from Qatar Airways. The scammer had filled it in, and when you look at the bottom, you'll see he made quite a simple mistake. Instead of signing it where it said signature of passenger, he filled his own name in the bottom box, the box where the member of staff who'd confiscated the firearm was supposed to put their own name. This wasn't a form for someone that's been arrested. It was simply a form for someone who was carrying a firearm, declaring that they understood that they shouldn't take it onto the aircraft, but allowing it to be placed in the hold of the aircraft. And on exactly the same day when our man was supposed to be boarding a flight in Doha, He apparently made an application to renew his firearm licence. A bit strange, wouldn't you think? And finally, that photo that even my viewer described as badly photoshopped when he was allegedly arrested in Cape Town for carrying raw diamonds. I'm going to zoom in. Look what it says on the bottom. It's issued by the Department of Home Affairs, Republic of South Africa. Which department? The Forensics and Crime Laboratory Services Directorate. I think the takeaway from this story, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you know of an older person who's recently been widowed, make sure they understand that if somebody sends them an unsolicited or random friend request online and starts telling them complicated stories about where they're posted overseas, they're almost always scammers. Make sure that the person that you know is aware of that before they get drawn into the scam. Once they've been drawn in, it's too late. They need to know in advance that these people that contact them and sweet talk them are not genuine. I hope this viewer's story can stand as a warning to other potential victims and to their families. If your loved one is in a similar situation, bereaved and lonely, make sure that you've warned them about scammers. You might just save your loved one from falling victim. I hope you found this video helpful. Please share it with anyone that you feel might need to hear the story contained in it. If you have older friends or relatives, share it with them and ask them to share it with their friends. The more people that know about these scammers, the fewer people that will fall victim. Please like this video, please do share it, please comment down below, and please subscribe to my channel.